Resident Evil 4 was a big hit for the horror franchise, revolutionizing third-person shooters for years to come. But the trio of numbered titles that began there weren't as neatly tied together as the first three in the series. In fact, in the 7-year span between Resident Evil 4 and 6, several games were released with the sole purpose of expanding the lore of the franchise and filling in gaps left behind. 2 years after 4, the Umbrella Chronicles added details to the event of Resident Evil 0, 1, and 3, while the Darkside Chronicles, released just 6 months after 5, gave some new views into the events of 2 and Code Veronica. This new game, too, would look back to help bridge the series together, adding some detail to what transpired after Resident Evil 4. Development of the game saw a team led by Koshi Nakanishi, a game designer for Resident Evil 5 3 years earlier, and was put together during a mad rush of Resident Evil production, happening simultaneously with fellow 3DS title Resident Evil The Mercenaries 3D, as well as Resident Evil 6, which would be released later the same year. The 3DS, as it turned out, was fertile ground for Resident Evil games thanks to its auto-stereoscopic 3D, which let them create immersive scenarios in which players could, quote, feel like there could be something lurking around every corner. Additionally, with it being developed as a handheld title, the team at TOSE decided to take an episodic approach rather than a single, sprawling world to make it easier for shorter-length handheld gaming experiences. In fact, in many ways, Revelations was intended as a return to the playstyle of the early games in the series, prioritizing exploration and evasion in a claustrophobic, isolated environment, as opposed to the increasingly ammo-driven run-and-gun action of the main entries going into the 2010s. Speaking of which, despite being formally announced at E3 2010, as game development continued into the next year, only 20% of the game had been completed, with a number of planned features ultimately cut before the final product was released, including a special underwater weapon and a final chapter involving the landmass scene from the ship near the start of the game. Despite the extremely early build of the game, a demo was put together for Nintendo World 2011 in January, which would ultimately be included in the release of The Mercenaries 3D that summer. Now, Revelations had a lot to live up to. The main series was headed in a very different direction, and these side games were beginning to take on sort of a life of their own, especially as they harkened back to the adventures that made the series so great in the first place. And the industry was taking note. Revelations was given a proper reveal at E3 2011, where it was nominated for Best 3DS Game by IGN, who even wound up listing it as one of the most anticipated titles of 2012. And when 2012 finally arrived, no one had to wait long, as Resident Evil Revelations saw a release in Japan and Europe in late January and America in the first week of February. But maybe everyone got a bit too excited, because when the first print of games went out to stores in North America, the title was misspelled on the spine, Revelatons. Nice. As for the game's story, we pick up not long after Resident Evil 4, as bioterror cell Il Veltro uses BOWs to assault the Mediterranean city of Terra Grigia in opposition to its solar energy satellites. Upon failing to quell the terrorist attacks, the Federal Bioterrorism Commission ultimately decides to use the satellite to destroy Terra Grigia instead. FBC agents Parker Luciani and Jessica Shurawat are there to assist in the evacuation before Terra Grigia is destroyed, eventually joining the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance and becoming partners with Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield respectively. As the game begins, Chris and Jessica are on an investigative mission, seeking out the last known location of Il Veltro, while Jill and Parker look into reports of BOWs appearing near the ruined city of Terra Grigia. When Chris and Jessica are reported missing, it's up to Jill and Parker to investigate the place they were last seen, the cruise liner Queen Zenobia. One of the benefits of releasing on the 3DS is the use of stereoscopic 3D to fully immerse the player into the gameplay. But Revelations turned out to also be the first game released outside Japan to support the Circle Pad Pro, allowing free-moving camera controls in most scenarios. Playing more like a classic Resident Evil game, Revelations features limited ammo and health pickups, as well as decreased movement speed in order to force players to ration their combat and find other ways to get around. In fact, the most reliable way to obtain healing items is by way of the Genesis device, a digital tool much like the scan visor of Metroid Prime, which scans enemies and rewards frequent use by spitting out health pickups each time it reaches 100%. Also added to the game is a raid mode, a 1 or 2 player mode that plays more like the middle trilogy again, much more action-oriented than the main game mode. Of course, this game wasn't just released on the 3DS, and just a year later saw an HD version come out on the modern consoles of the era, followed by yet another release in 2017 on the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Unfortunately, this new version's been criticized for not being enough of an upgrade from the original. So I guess we'll just have to see for ourselves. This is Resident Evil Revelitons.
Oh.
It's the C-pad, and the C stood for Capcom.
I got my eye on you.
And now it stands for crazy.
Revelations?
This actually, so I played this.
Yep.
When did this come out? 2012?
I guess 2012 was the original.
I played this 11 years ago on the 3DS.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, did the title screen basically do this with like the 2 layers to it?
Yeah.
That seems like that'd be so fucking cool on a 3DS.
Yeah. No, this game actually was pretty good on the 3DS, and I did not have the boat.
Was there like a peripheral that was a boat?
Well, yeah, well, it was like slaying the boat. You know, it was the secondary thumbstick.
Yeah, this was actually apparently the very first game in the US to use the Circle Pad Pro. Was the name
Circle
of it.
Pad Pro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. The C-pad Pro.
Yeah, the C-pad. There we go. So this is
honestly.
C-pad graduating, C-pad Pro,
and
pretty appropriately.
So I think it came out after the game, though, because I think it came out actually for.
Probably, yeah.
I think they released it for something else, but then they also just made it compatible for this.
Yeah, because like the 3DS only came out in like 2011.
Right.
And the new 3DS came out around the time Majora's Mask 3D came out, which I think was like 2015 or something.
Okay.
So they must have internally had like something that when they might have put out a patch to it so that you could download or something.
So this game is going to control a lot like 4, the original 4 that we haven't played.
Perfect.
And 5 and 6, which we also have not.
Which we also haven't played.
So,
Perfect.
Although actually by 6 you might be able to move and shoot. I don't know because I haven't played that one, but
this is still like planting
yes,
plug.
but you actually do aiming. It's a lot. It's basically for the original one we weren't playing in VR, and I could still move.
All right.
But yeah. So originally there was only one thumbstick to use, so you would move, and then you hold the shoulder button, and then that
locks
plant
you
yourself,
in
and then you're aiming.
So it's like base. Perfect.
And then the other shoulder, I believe, is probably shoot, and then your face buttons did normal Resident Evil things. Revelations. This is good because they got a lot of complaints. I'm not even sure if 6 was out when this came out. I don't think it was, but they got a lot of complaints from 5.
Yeah.
That they missed the survival horror aspect, and they were like, "We know 4 was popular, but you're veering a little bit more into action shooter."
Oh hey, cool. Oh yeah, because we downloaded like a funky version of it or something on the Xbox.
Oh yeah, you probably just got all the DLC, whatever. We don't need to use it. Oh, it's all raid mode stuff anyway, actually.
Oh yeah, hey, you're right.
So ignore it.
Sports ResidentEvil.net. It's not ResidentEvil.net. It's Resident EvilNet.
Yes. I wonder if that even still exists.
Whoops, I don't even know what I just really said.
This still very much looks like the original 3DS.
The background looks like a fucking James Bond intro.
So they ported this from 3DS, I believe, to PlayStation, let's say 3.
Okay.
First.
Yes, yeah, they did, I think, and then they put then a couple years later, it went to the next generation from there. Like the same version we're doing now is also on Switch. Like it was part of the same like I'm sure
I wasn't actually sure if it was available on an
Apparently,
system.
Yeah,
that wasn't the 3DS.
A few months later, I'm sure it's a lower grade version of it than the Xbox One and the PS4, but
it's probably just the original version.
I mean, it might be. Yeah, I assume it's better than the 3DS version, but new game.
Yeah, so here we go. Normal.
Yeah, provides a hearty challenge.
I like the choice of the words infernal. There's a lot of Dante's Inferno references in this, but also
interesting. Bringing back
it's very nautical.
Yeah, it takes place all on a boat, right? So this is Resident Evil Dead Aim.
Yeah, kind of. So I don't want to spoil too much at the beginning, but we're dealing with the T-Abyss virus, which is a variant.
Interesting. I'm trying to remember which one. The T virus is the main one, yeah?
The main. So we're zombies are back after a long time. This is Jill with long hair.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Jill.
Oop. Check out my sweet microphone.
It's not Carlos. Even though the last time we saw her was Resident Evil 3.
It looks like me if I got fit and could grow a mustache. That sure is a boat. Oh, no, we're going on the Queen Xenophobia. Oh, that's no good.
That's not how you spell xenophobia at all.
I know, I'm xenophobia-phobic.
Oh.
Take us around. Let's find a boarding point.
So there could have been Barry. Just saying.
Yeah, there's no. If he's not going to turn up for the rest of the game, that could have been Barry.
I mean, he does, but no, you actually. So there's a few supporting characters that they actually do a really good job of fleshing out in this game, and there's technically 3 scenarios that you're playing with in chapters.
Okay.
This game is split into chapters.
Yeah.
So there's Jill.
I know Chris is involved in some way.
There's Chris, and
That's
then
not how
and then there's
works.
these like 2 like Key and Peele-ish guys
on
their own like side mission. They're like funny, but they're like
yeah,
but they're soldiers.
They're
It's
just
weird.
fucking chung.
Or they're almost a little Marvin Harry too. I don't know. Like
Chris and Jessica. I don't know if we've known any Jessica yet.
Right here on this ship.
Oh no, I'm wet.
Yeah. Okay. So Chris has a new partner, Jessica.
Yeah.
And Jill has this guy is her new partner.
All right. So right
and
stick
he's
is
with
the
you,
camera.
right? What's his name? Did we get it?
Pushy Craig.
Bushy Craig.
Pushy
sure.
Craig. I'll just. So you get a special achievement if you can nudge him all the way to the end goal. Right, so left.
I wish you could.
That'd be great. It's like all the Half-Life games where it's like, oh, if you bring this gnome statue,
You'd have to
for
like
the whole
find sequence breaks to like keep him with you for the entire game.
Cutscenes happen, but if you enter from the right angle, then he's just like T-posing in front of you for the whole scene. All right, so I assume right trigger will fire when I'm in reticle mode.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But also, you have the second thumbstick, so does that do anything for you?
Yeah, right. That's camera controls.
That's camera controls.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So this is essentially the new 3DS version of the game. Then, A is inspect. All right.
Yeah, you probably had to walk around.
Hang on. No, game. No. Oh, it's gonna pretend like it wasn't there now. Literally, the first line of inspection dialogue. I don't like the sound of that. Was spelled I space don't.
Oh.
I'm just.
Oh, that's how Jill talks. She's like.
No.
I don't.
I guess don't worry about that. It's
Yeah.
WORR apostrophe, so very normal.
I don't like the sound of that.
I might be able to shoot it off.
Whoa, not in front of Pushy Craig. I love, by the way, that it's left trigger plus right trigger, because it makes it seem like you hit them both at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that's a great way to just like hip shoot it.
I'm trying to remember. Did you have to just walk around constantly hitting left trigger to recenter the camera in the original game?
Oh God,
I don't remember that. But I also remember the controls being really smooth for only having one thumbstick.
Stench. It's been abandoned for a while.
And it's very claustrophobic, like the original couple games. Which
I'd heard that was a big thing for this. Uh-oh.
I mean, you're on a boat, for God's sake. But
there we go.
I can't wait till we beat it and play raid mode, because raid mode in this game is one of my favorite multiplayer experiences.
Nice. And we'll definitely have to give that a spin as
well.
well.
It's co-op, so we can
Yeah,
tag team
excellent.
that. Rick's in the pilot seat for this.
I am, yes.
As I
whenever
I already
said
played
that.
this, so
I'm Rick, by the way. I don't even know if we did that part yet.
Oh, I never do.
That's the other guy.
So there's a lot of really good jump scares in this that I thought would hit better if Rick was playing, because I know.
Oh, perfect.
Coming.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Spooky boy.
I don't think we're alone.
I don't think we're alone now.
Well, clearly you're not.
You just watch something moving around.
At least Chris is supposedly on this boat. And hopefully Jessica. Jessica Simpson.
Whoop, hello. Can I... Debating whether I should...
Nah, they don't pierce vent metal.
Ooh. Oh, boy, that ain't good.
There's blood coming from the ducks.
That's just cranberry sauce in that guy. Oh, his poor arm.
So yeah, I don't know if this is like the T-virus mixed with jellyfish DNA or something.
No power, which means no elevator for us.
Oh. So we're gonna be peeing on a lot of zombies
I guess
here.
she sounds like Jill, right? Like I was going through.
She sounds more like Jill than she does like Claire, which is a good thing.
I was going through like IMDb or something for like Resident Evil characters.
This feels like an easy way to.
Laughing. I was like, Jill has literally been recast in every single fucking every time they do it.
Has she really?
Except for like, I think Marvel vs. Capcom came out really close to the same time as the RE1 remake, so maybe like that's the same voice actress. And then, interestingly enough, like whoever's playing her in like what's that popular crossover game where like they just keep like announcing like different universe characters?
Is it Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight, yeah. So that voice actress is different than the RE3 remake for some reason, even though they both like just came out.
Hey, I don't know how to access my menu. Can I do the middle one? Nope. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have wanted to check out Dead by Daylight for a while. I know nothing about it, but it seemed like a cool just for the sake of. It seems like they put a lot of effort into the details.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to play the RE DLC portion of it after.
Clicking sticks does nothing, and the bumpers do nothing.
After 6 and stuff.
Ah, okay. X is reload.
As per usual, right?
Yeah.
Y is inventory. I'm guessing. Maybe not yet.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, you probably
start just goes here. Oh, there we go. That's the squares button, whatever the fuck that is.
Select.
Yeah. I thought that said 17 out of 5. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means right now.
Oh yeah. So I do not think that there is inventory management in this game.
Thank fucking God. I am very much a fan of that. It seems like we've got. Oh, nice. They put the manuals actually in the game.
No, there are item boxes.
Dude, that's cool. All right, this is neat. I can get behind this.
Oh yeah, this map's great. And you're going to need it
awesome.
because there are a lot of vertical swimming.
Oh no! All right.
Chapters. Yeah, you're in a boat. Of course you got to swim in this thing. First Resident Evil game that features swimming. Right?
Like Mega Man for DOS.
Unless someone can tell me it's in 5 and I don't know about it because again, I
don't know. Have you played 5?
I've not played 5 or 6.
Right.
Because they were PlayStation exclusives and I had never owned one. Nor did I own an Xbox.
Gotcha, yeah.
To this day, folks, actually, I only own Nintendo consoles, Sega consoles, and Steam.
The PS5 that we've been playing Kingdom Hearts on is the first PlayStation I've ever owned.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I got the Xbox One and then the Xbox Series X, both essentially for the channel.
I got a PS1 hand-me-down from my cousin after he got his PS3.
Ooh.
But I don't even count that because I literally haven't used it in years, and the last time I used it, I had to turn it upside down in order to get the games to read.
That's never a good sign. It seems like it's like the disc plate is all fucked up or something.
Yeah, but I flipped it upside down. I was like, okay, it works, and that's how I got through Final Fantasy VII
all right.
the first time.
God, maybe that would have worked for Final Fantasy VIII for me. My 4th disc was all fucked up, and it... What am I looking at?
Well, I mean, if the disc was fucked up and scratched,
I assume that it was just...
It was the laser inside the thing or something. Or, the plate itself might have
Can I
been
interact with this? All right, I can, but I'm going to do this first.
Parker, give me a hand here.
Parker, okay.
Parker, all right. Pushy Craig Parker. Good old PCP.
All right, like, comment, or subscribe below if you think Parker's going to die before the end of this game. And that's not a spoiler because I honestly don't remember.
Oh, man, I have to assume the answer is yes. I can't fathom him making it the entire game with us. There's a gun in there.
I got something.
Oh, is this Jessica? Oh, no.
I think it's a gun.
Now what?
Or is this Chris?
Give me a sec.
Yeah. Everything we've had afterwards
Parker also
is
looks like
a
he's getting
clone.
fatter every time
He does. I don't know why. Is it because the camera's closer? There has to have been a smarter way of doing this, Jill. See, this is why you're not...
I mean, Jill's used to this shit.
What a bizarre shot we have.
Jill is used to this shit.
Him practically puking. Ass
it
shot of Jill.
Please tell me it's a disembodied hand.
I think it is, yeah. Now we
Why
just need
does
to
this
close
keep
up.
happening
to me? Yeah.
Joseph!
Ass shot again. Everything's got to be an ass shot.
Is it Steve?
Yeah, right? Oh no, I crashed again.
Oh, you ready? Heavily inspired by the Regenerators.
Yep. Hoop. God damn. Hoop.
I think this was also probably Nintendo's clever way, or Capcom's clever way of
there we go.
having all the enemies look exactly the same, but still be zombies.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're all melty and amphibious.
Yeah, and at that point they just become ambiguously blobby.
This is not good.
Really, you think? Oh, she's joined the Bazaar. I think this is the first game that actually features the BSA, isn't it? Or at least chronological. Well, that was an odd throw to title screen.
No, because
okay,
they were in BSAA in the Fall of Umbrella chapter of Umbrella.
Oh, were they? Okay.